Hello and welcome back to Cultist Simulator with me, Barden. Right, so we are continuing on from last time. It's been a day or two since I last played. We're going to search the city there. I do know that we are working on this to try and get ourselves an extra reason. And we are also just going to search with help there to see what we can find there. But we still have Moreland's shop, which I'm guessing, given how much we've gotten so far, I'm guessing there isn't much left in Moreland's shop for us to find. But we'll see how long that kind of lasts us. So let's start off time now. See, with that notoriety, we need to keep that in mind as well. Okay. So we found another person. I found someone who I might pay to enact regrettable necessities. Well, at the moment there's no necessities at all. He will find this, I feel, because it's got, what, just under 5 minutes to go. Yeah, so he's definitely going to be able to find that. Then we're going to have 10 minutes of... 10 minutes of... tentative evidence as well to navigate, so we're gonna have to keep our nose clean for a while. Because yeah, I can't see him not going searching before then. Now you have one, yes. So we need one more. Please start that, because that's going to degrade by the time that we would have read that. So you give some restlessness, which will obviously become dread, but dread is not as threatening to us now that we have the ecdysis club. We got our funds there. We're going to get straight back to work. Let's put in that lovely devotion, because we are so devoted to our job. Let's see with her. So. Hopefully it's okay. I don't actually think we have anything in Sanskrit to even test. But I was going to test with her, but it's okay. So let's grab that vitality. The Well in the Wood is sacred to the Grail, and the hour that hungers, and to the Velvet, the hour that guards secrets. Tonight as I approached, it heaved with the velvet's moss, struggling waves of deep and vibrant green, pulsing again and again from its throat. It surged around my calves, rose to my eyes, and this morning I still feel the velvet's breath strong within me. Get some nice vitality out of that. If we get into any issues with our health, we have that available, and also if very soon we get one, we have that available too. Yeah, we will head back in and put in our old passion there. We can take you back. I think, yeah. Oh, sorry, not there. You. It's time to grab ourselves another book. Okay, so yeah, this will be just, we'll just hang on by the time that we fix this one. Okay, so we're going to get another potential dread. Okay, and here we've gotten the skeleton songs. Okay, let's see what you're all about. The skeleton songs, poems of greedy delight, composed by the possibly pseudonymous Arabella Dusk, the rumored heiress turned madam turned poetess. Okay, and again, it doesn't need any translation, so it can just pop here for now. Yeah. Okay, and then we go visit Merlin again. The only thing about Moreland's shop for me is that not regretting, but the dreading, really, of that one time when you realise that there's no more to the game there. So you have raided. Grab that. So combine those is 60. Hang on, this should have had... Oh no, I miscalculated because I had 170, right? So we need another... Yeah, we need another one of those. How many do you have left then? You have 2. Okay. Yeah, everything is kind of just on the cusp. There's that for the restlessness that will become second dread. Can't use a top verb really at the moment because of this, and it has just under 3 minutes left. But 3 minutes is a long time, especially seeing as he hasn't been out hunting for a while. We're certainly not going to count that as gone because I don't believe he's going to miss it. We're going to grab you. I walked in the wood last night, and the scissors worked in the distance, and the furred things crammed my mouth and swelled my ears. I felt the old urge to drop to wolf forwards and nose among the roots. But I remembered that I walk upright by day, and no fire and steel and words, and at last I found where the velvet had concealed a secret on tree bark beneath the moss. I read it then with the tips of my fingers, and I think now that I could write it in full. Okay, a lovely cooked scrap for us. We're then going to get back here. This may, depending on how things go with the lore that we have in these books, it may be soon-ish that we don't go to the Way of the Wood anymore. We go to wherever the next one in line is. Name of it escaped you at the moment. Locksmith's Dream, Potions and Proportions. The second volume of Theresa Dalmier's examination of parallels in the mystic dreams of art. The frontispiece has been slashed with a razor. Oh, frontispiece. So the cover. And you can go there. Okay. Right, so we head on back again. Like that. That is about to degrade, I believe. Yeah, 30 seconds on it. So we get some contentment there, which is nice, which you may be able to use with that dread. Wrapped in the King. Detailed accounts by James Colin Murphy of secret bacchanals and ecstatic dance observed in necropolises with graveyards in southern Europe, in Egypt, and in Anatolia. The author is a self-confessed ghoul and eater of buried flesh. He claims to have witnessed the dance while at his feasting. Okay, interesting. Do that, and then move to there, and pop on back to here. Okay, now, something's on. For erudition, now combine these two, By the time they're combined, it will have degraded. We find those two, then we study that. Then you will actually... Wait. Are you also going to... I think that one's going to degrade as well. That would be rather annoying, but I think that might be what's going to happen. Okay, another one of these. The velvet is strong at the well in the wood, and the velvet is the hour that keeps secrets. But now and then she lets a little secret fall, like a crumb at a feast. Last night I found a moss-clad rock, written all around, the secrets of another history. I might give thanks to the velvet, but it will be wiser not to draw her attention. Grab that, then... Right, so... You have 99, you have... Okay, so it makes sense to try and get rid of you first, because there's a chance at least that the other one will degrade on its own. Let's start that. Okay, we now have just over a minute and a half on that, but I still feel like he's going to get out there and find it. Oh, sorry, please move you. It's probably there. Probably for some reason. Then we have the Horus Football. Okay. In Latin, a 19th century reprint by the indefatigable Italian Darcy Evers of a 14th century Latin translation of a 14th century work. Okay. So you go down here because you are in Latin. Then again, you head on back there. There he goes. Yeah. So just going to be about a minute, just over a minute left when he finds that. Here it goes. Yep, you've degraded. Right, that. Lesson learned. Well, I suppose we've got to combine these two. Actually, no. Don't do that yet. Get that extra reason that we need. It feels like they're going around in circles with that stuff. A collection of poetry. Okay. So that's nice for there, because then that's 2 lessons learned towards passion. Okay. The last of the variety that we had, or vitality, not variety, is gone. Up there. Okay, fleeting reminiscence, thank you. Up there. Dread doesn't have that long to go. Even if it gets captured, we're not going to be that concerned about it. This one though, if a hunter has found notoriety, they will try to use it to create or upgrade evidence. If they're meticulous, they'll always succeed. If they're erratic, they're more likely to fail. But they can occasionally create evidence even without notoriety. This gentleman would much rather be left alone with his pipe and is illustrated along the news. But no, apparently some conjurer of abominations has to be hunted down like a mad dog, and apparently no one else can find it. So he's mortal. It doesn't say he's erratic, but I believe he's not obviously meticulous. I believe he's not meticulous at least. Which I guess would by default maybe make him erratic. Unless there is an in-between status that they didn't mention. Okay, a collection of essays. Right. So that now is very interesting because now we have 2 of those. So in theory we could get 2 more lessons learned, but we only need 1. But it certainly would be a quick way to pump them out. What have we got here then? We have our done. Oops. Do that, and then pop you there. And run around. Okay, it got captured with 18 seconds left. Right, now. It's time for us then to head on back to the club. We haven't been there in a while. You can kind of see that our funds as well are still remaining static. But as our funds remain static, our book collection is certainly growing. He did it. I'm certain that my adversary has lodged a copy of the notes elsewhere with the solicitor, with the supervisor, even with a contact in the press. This is troubling. It certainly is. You live there beside him. That is 10 minutes of keeping your nose very, very clean. What have we got here? The wreath announces the master of ceremonies. A dancer undulates on the stage, unfolding her arms like live moths spill in a stream from her mouth. Okay, and then we got our extra erudition there. We're going to collect that. Oops. These 2 can be combined. Yeah, we finally got to the point where we should be able to do everything we need to do. You have 228 left to go. So 60 for that would be... Wait, no, 50 for that is going to take you down to what? Wait, it's 228 seconds, right? So that will bring you down to 178. No, again, we're going to be like a second off on that. So I think we actually do need to use both of those, because otherwise it's just going to be every time where we can't quite make it. White moths eddy through the hall. They perch on the brims of wine glasses and sip. The audience applauds. The woman on stage moves as if she has too many limbs. Moths crowd my arms, nestle against my shoulder. In a little while I'll step outside and look at the clear, cold stars. Assume I dreamt the whole thing. The smokes of the club are treacherous. Okay, so we grab that. So now we have our contentment, which you will capture and cancel off, which should be good for us. Pop both of you up there now. Yeah, so what we really need to do is to use both of these, and then from there, yeah, that will give us 2 of those, and we'll be able to, I think, move on from there. So the white door is the next one. Yeah. Okay. Now, grab you. The well in the wood is never dry, but it is never clear. One night it might heave with crawling roots, another it will pulse with bright moss. On nights of the full moon, its waters are choked with the fat dappled bodies of moths. Last night I saw it brimming with dark and viscous blood. Gelatinous threads drifted on its surface, clots of grail matter. You can go here for now. We're gonna pop back here again. We should probably go to Moorlands again as well. Okay, he's got that. That's great. We don't have any fascination to concern ourselves there with you. Keeping that cash rolling in. Yeah, so you have 3 minutes. Grab that. Right, so now we have 3 of them. I'm going to study one of these. So you have 5 minutes. You have just under 3 minutes. On the white. Okay, let's see what this is all about. Solomon the Husher writes, perhaps allegorically, of winter and its long, slow, doomed romance of the sun. The epigraph is sunset at noon. Okay. And then it's not written in the language you need to translate. Again, let's go say hi to Morland. So neither of those are going to degrade. We could actually combine those and save that. Yeah, okay. So I guess it just took a cycle to get to where we need to get. Right, let's try here this time. In my sleep I came to the high jagged rock, which is still called the Temple of the Wheel. Though the hour called Wheel is long extinct, another hand had scattered a secret in the black lantern on its flank. I burned that secret into my memory to preserve for waking. Before the velvet came out of the velvet wood depths and erased it. The velvet is jealous of her secrets. She is indeed. Right, one thing's on. You're about to finish. Oh, not quite yet. And then you as well. Mirrors are calm, the sun is steady, the glory recedes. I'm sane, if that means anything. Back here again. The Locksmith's Dream, a light through the keyhole. The first volume of Teresa Gagnier's examination of parallels and mystic dream of art. Okay, we've actually got a book connected with that down there somewhere as well. Let's go. Right, actually, let's get back to Moreland. Moreland, buddy, you know, we love your books, and we'll keep buying them if you keep giving them to us. So, you know, maybe don't run out of stock. Maybe would be a good idea. The Wolf Despair prowls elsewhere. There. How long now on that? 8 minutes. Some dread there. Some little fun stuff. Okay, you're also done. Copy there. Second. Right, so yeah, you two combine. Then we'll have 1, 2, 3, and that will be 4. Okay, and then we'll finally do it. We should be happy. Maybe not as happy as Larry, but happy enough. Right. The War of the Roads, 1450 to 1580, Centred Edition. I wonder who centred it. Willis Ford describes the War of the Roads, an event in a history other than our own, in detail, but numerous pages have been removed. The name of the publisher is blacked out. An anonymous slip stapled to the cover explains that Willis Ford has been excised. Ooh. Well, Willis Ford, eh? But you can there now. We head back to Orland. Yeah, I wish there was an endless supply of books. But again, just the writing quality of this game is so good that the effort goes into just getting, you know, even choice of words and stuff like that right. Takes a lot of effort and a lot of you know, it does actually take a lot of time, even when they're only short little blurbs. And you know, I can imagine that whoever wrote them went over them a lot to make sure that they kind of got the feel of each book right. And you know, it amazed me that they do actually have so many books in the game because of that as well. Entering the wood. I walked in the wood last night, and the scissors worked in the distance, and the fur things crabbed my mouth and swarmed my ears, and I felt the old urge to drop the wolf forest and nose among the roots. But I remembered that I walk upright by day, and I know fire and steel and words, and at last I found where the velvet has concealed the secret on tree bark beneath the moss. I read it down with the tips of my fingers, and I think that I could write it in full. Okay, so we'll get you. One thing's done. Cooner and Gert. Cooner and Gert, Osh Fribish, grammatic, there's something. The Greek grammar, an essential weapon for a ferocious struggle in a challenging language. Okay. And we grab that. This should go down there. Go and see if we can get more. Not sure if that I can't remember what the name of the book is that kind of signals that you've come to the end of the road. But right, there we go. We got you finally. So we have 4 of those. You can go there. Something more requires a secret. Okay. No one remembers all the histories. In consequence, no one can forget them all. Okay. See that. I don't remember with other characters having to sacrifice lore to get a higher level like that. Maybe it's something that is unique to the priest, or maybe I'm just misremembering, or possibly it's something that has been added to the game for like for everyone. Or I suppose another thing is, like, we haven't played all of the characters anyway, so it may not be unique to the priest, but it may be that the priest and certain other characters require it. But right now you require our lovely reason, of which you have 4, soon to be 5. We're happy to oblige. We now have how long there? So just under 7 minutes, 6.5 minutes or so. Run it on. What about here now? The Orchid Transfiguration Volume 1. The 16th century alchemical fever dream attributed to Robert Flood, frequently banned for disturbing allure of his illustrations. This is in the original Latin. Okay. And I'm going to sneeze in a second. This is one of those where I know it's there, I know it's going to happen, there's nothing I do to avoid it, but it's not happening quite yet. You then are, oh, that's volume 2, okay. We have volume 1 and volume 2 of that. Yeah, right. Right. Let's then go see Moreland again. With that little fear in our stomach that we're getting close to the end of the road with that. Okay, so you pick a dread. We'll have to provide something to counter that in a second. You can pop there. Let's see what else is happening. Everything else I think is fine for now. There. Go back here. We're gonna grab that. Do the rumor. I came to the Temple of the Wheel, that high jagged rock. We've read this already, right? No, actually it's something slightly different. I came to the Temple of the Wheel, that high and jagged rock, that memorial to dead gods. Those who take their own lives sometimes first cast themselves from its peak and dream. I found under a sleeping soul, scratching the sign of the eye into the lichen at its peak. I do not recall what passed between us, but I will recognize their face in the waking world. Yeah. Searching you up, I think, will end up with some dark consequences. I think it might give notoriety, so not sure whether I want to do that or not. Then we got a collection of poetry, so possibly more passion for us, because we've got 3 of those now. Still would require us to generate some of our own as well, but certainly better. Okay, so here, well, we don't actually give it up, we just use it. Okay. Stillness is the virtue. So then you can go here. So you are now skill, a silent intensity. Okay, so still not, I think a rarefied mind is the highest level on that one. But it's good that you have risen so high. Now, the next thing I think we should do is work on passion. So I want to check. We would need something more and 4 lessons learned. Okay. So we have potentially 3 of them there. I think the better thing to do would be to right now work on generating maybe 3 more lessons learned yourself. Then use one of them. So similar to what we just did with reason. That would be a good call on our part. You there. Okay. Keep on that treadmill. Eventually our funds will start growing again once we start paying for books again. Traveling at Night, Volume 1. Okay, again, not the one that heralds the end for us, which is good. The Annotated Dream Journals of Christopher Alopli, sometimes called the only readable occultist. illiterate, entertaining, bewildering. Okay. So we go there. We then head on back to the shop. Do that. Okay. Okay, so he is going to grab that again. It has an hour's what? 5 minutes left. He's going to extend that a little bit by capturing it. He won't be able to upgrade it though. Takes time to sort the gold from the dross, the wheat from the chaff, the blood from the water. If I buy enough books, I'll find something interesting. We certainly have a lot of interesting books here, which is great. And what we got this time? Davini's Conundra. Nico van der Riel describes all events in Vienna. The disappearance of children, epidemics of parasite activity, animal mutilation, nightmares of war, the activities of a charitable organization, the new legions that funds the burial of poor. She proposes peculiar connections between these activities. Okay. Oops. There. Pop you there. Then back. No, not yet. We need to go here. Start that. Right. What's tonight's performance? The drinks, the songs, the light, the arching walls, the smoke, blue haze, the present sway of clothed and unclothed flesh. Okay, so that will be for you. I've passed the time. I have been inclined to tears, and afterwards inclined to laugh. Meanwhile, the world continues. Okay, so we go there. Oops, start. There we go. Oops. So when he gets to there, he's going to take that, right? Because now he's kind of looking for new evidence. I purchase pleasure, a real home in the ungodly hours, and collapse into bed. Okay, and then in the morning we drag ourselves up and get the Moorlands again. Moorland probably seeing bags under her eyes, bloodshot, not quite coherent, but Moorland knows we're a good customer, so he's not going to try and rip us off in this vulnerable state. Maybe he keeps his voice a little lower than his usual baritone, or at least tries to, but when he's describing the book that he proposes that we purchase today, maybe he uses the run himself just a little. That voice raises again and booms through the store, and our head doesn't thank him for it. But once we clear the fog and unwrap our new purchase, hopefully we'll be pleased with the morning's activity. A collection of essays. Yeah, not the greatest. Maybe I would imagine that what happened on this occasion is that he was maybe describing a number of books to us, and some of it was just for the sensitive state we're in, just a bit too involved. And when he talked about a collection of essays, I thought, a bit of light reading, yeah, maybe that's something that I could do today. I don't really feel like doing anything too heavy, too taxing on my brain. Let's do that instead. And being the good proprietor and somewhat friend to us that he is, he probably set aside the other books that he talked about for us to maybe pick up another time. I'm safe for now. My adversary has not enough evidence to bring a case against me, and I found no new clues. Dove Despair prowls elsewhere. Okay, so 2 bits of good news for us there. Not so much good news there, but it's something that we can take care of at least. And we might even get some vitality out of this. I don't think I'm going to go for it though. Yeah. No, yes, no, yes. Let's go for that. Okay, not fatality. We tried. I believe we have read this one. Yeah. Okay. Let's collect those. And then here we'll collect those. So we've got another glimmering. So you have enough left for us to go again. So we'll do that. We're going to leave that open so we fix you. And starting that process will probably be around about where we end this particular episode. Guardside Sanskrit Reader, a lucid book which outlines a careful path through the thickets of a vast and complex land. Okay, so you can go down here, and then that will negate the need to learn or use her to help us translate books. It's a bit of a pity because interacting with the people in the game, you know, I would like. It's one of the things that I don't do enough of, and there probably is more that you can do with it. But it would be good to have kind of more interactions with the people as well. But that is like a tiny criticism of what is an absolutely fantastic game. And the great thing about a game like this as well is that it's one of those games that watching it, like watching someone play it, like if you're watching here, it doesn't spoil the game. It might spoil some endings or stuff like that, but in it overall, like there's just so much in the game that you know, it's rather than kind of working against the game, I think it works for the game, because then others think, like people might be looking at my stuff here and thinking, hey, with that maybe I could do this or this, and they can pick up the game and see if they can do stuff themselves as well. So yeah, it's really cool. Right, well, we're going to go visit Moreland again. And we did just start that, right? Yeah, okay. Right. So, what I want to do next is get this done, then start you out, put you two together. And then that will be a nice kind of indicator to me of what I was working on in terms of a study when I come back, whenever that is, because I'm not sure if I'm going to record another one today or not. So I kind of like to have some kind of indicator for future me of what it was I was actually thinking or what I was doing. So that means that you two get to mine. Okay, and that is where we're going to leave that one. So I hope you have enjoyed. Hope you're keeping safe right there, and hope to see you next time. Goodbye. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, maybe consider hitting the subscribe button there on the right, or checking out some other videos here on the left, or perhaps you might even share with some friends.